So I'm watching TV, right? And I'm flipping through the channels when I come across Family Guy. And it's this episode where there's this Muslim alarm clock that they illustrate, and suddenly I hear the takbir, shortly after which the alarm clock detonates. Now I'm laughing incessantly to the point that I smear my tears, and for some weird reason, in my head the word terrorist resonates. And then suddenly, impulsively, my limbs reach for a paper and pen, these feelings of deep horror and sorrow traveling through my skin, my mind picturing a devilish grin hiding years of oppression and sin as my hand begins. Dear my kin. Yet as the words I think are made permanent through the drying ink, it isn't merely my mother, father, or sister that I have in mind. Rather, it is a family I belong to called mankind, primarily my brothers in faith. And I continue, dear my kin, I have failed you. Rather, I have betrayed you. I have been a fervent proponent of those who enslave you, those who subject you to cheap sweatshops, fast food restaurants, leave you bedridden, poverty-stricken, and then disdain you. I am writing this letter to try and explain to you my detrimental love affair with America. And this simple TV show epitomizes how they desensitize us to our own sorry condition, took the S out of slaughter, and now it's all funny business. Children begging for water, and we won't even listen, dying sons and daughters. But as long as it isn't our children, it doesn't worry our soul. But last I checked, the ummah was supposed to be whole. Your pain was mine, my heart beat it with yours, and now it's your situation. It's, well, your situation. And we started changing the station on the Muslim nation, neglecting our unsolved roots. Why is it that our youth feature the most diverse ethnic groups, yet all the girls want the latest Ugg boots and all the guys the famous thug roots? The object of your loyalty is the source from which you derive your pride, and the source of your pride describes how much you're worth. And I've come to realize that we are worth far more than short skirts and premarital births, more than Armani shirts and the devil's curse. I refuse to continue to contribute to this dearth of worth. I'd rather live on the periphery of simplicity with a deep antipathy for all the illusions on this earth. You see, I just recently realized that the home of the brave was in fact the home of the slaves, because I've still yet to see the land of the free. And don't get me wrong, I support this star-spangled banner as best I can, yet rather than supporting it unconditionally, I realize now that I must support whichever part of it fits within the banner of Islam. Much rather than conforming to a man-made foundation, I'd rather live by a foundation established by God for man. Much rather than ingesting the Uncle Sam, yes we can placebos, I'd rather wholeheartedly take in the pure, unadulterated cure of Islam, because as much as I love you, America, I cannot support half the principles on which you stand. And consequently, the consequent consequences constantly became numb in my veins, and subsequently, the subsequent sublime message substituted for pain. As the subliminal tide subsides, I reside in my misplaced sense of pride, in which I so deeply confide, when in reality I can't stand what's inside. Shame. The shame of my heart and mind as a result of their enslavement to my soul and her greed. This need for conformity is their modernized slavery, and in the process, we've lost all sense of loyalty to everything save our souls, and God knows we are in need of some serious soul saving. So I refuse to betray you, my kin, anymore. Retain my soul, regain control, and retain my true pride. Keep my head held high, and I'm not talking about my nose in the sky because of what I advertise on my shirt. I'm talking about the minimum 5 times a day I put my face in the dirt. You see, this is a letter to the unborn. And I'm not talking about abortion, I'm talking about extortion. For every single person paying their hard-earned money to stimulate someone else's fortune and getting left with the less than second best portion. This is for the mothers working 3 jobs to keep the lights on. This is for my brothers subject to American fight songs. This is for the warrior who knows he's meeting his doom yet still fights on. It is you that stay true to what you believe in, not us who stay true to every lyric, to every song of the heathens, confusing profound with profane, doing whatever it takes to be considered mundane while you worry about bullets and bombs dropping from the sky. But don't you cry, I am by your side. And these kings trying to suppress the Sharia is no new concept. The Sharia, my friend, is what obligates me to greet Muslims and non-Muslims alike with this cheese. So by all means, Peter Kings or Queens, ban as you please. I, however, will continue to please the owner of all pleasure and all he decrees, and as the degrees of hardship increase, I know twofold that so do the ease. So please, forgive me my kin, I am weak, my heart changes with the seasons. One day it's hot and the next day it's freezing. One day I've got it all figured out and the next I've lost my direction and reason. So I'm pleading with you my kin, I repent to Allah to forgive me my sins, and I beg you please forgive me my treason. I'm willing to extend you my arms till the soles of my palms start bleeding, because this life is fleeting and it is you that I cherish. I would rather die before I see my brothers perish, but alas. Then came the end of the commercial break, and just as I was about to continue throwing my life away, I was shown a sign. See, this letter had a pulse, and it was beating with mine.